Hi everyone, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra here at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale with my friend Greg. And Greg has been a student of mine and a friend in class. And so he took Gabe White's Pistol Shooting Solutions class with the ASP crew a couple weeks ago. And so I want to talk to Greg about the value of a group class, and then you're here today for a private lesson, so about the value of a private lesson. So let's talk about it. KSG Armory makes a high quality, affordable holster, whether outside the waistband, inside the waistband, or appendix carry. We are proud to have them in the Holster Consortium. Use coupon code ASP2020 at the link in the description for 10% off. So first of all, Greg, tell everybody kind of your background in handgun shooting. Like, how much training have you had?
I've been shooting guns my whole life. I was brought up in a family that did that, but for most of my life there wasn't much formal training at all. It's just go out to the range and have fun with dad and grandpa and their brother and do that kind of stuff. My grandfather ran the Navy's competition pistol team. He was a gunsmith, so he had everything. But getting into the defensive side and the formal training's really been the last couple of years.
Okay.
I think, and it was kind of eye-opening. Of course, you know, I had my CCW. I was one of the guys. So I got my CCW permit. I'm good. I don't need anything.
I'm good.
else.
I don't need any more than that.
And I started taking it, getting a little more into the, you know, becoming a training junkie. And as I got more into it, I'm like, there's just so much more to learn. And I think about it, and I'm like, there's never a point where I'll ever feel like I'm good enough in a fight for my life, right?
Do you ever wonder if Rob Latham thinks he's good enough with a handgun? Like, I've won like 30 national championships.
There's just, to me, there's no standard. I'm good to go get in a fight for my life right now, right? So you always want to keep pushing yourself. And I think some of it, we took some local training down in Tucson, some home defense, force on force stuff, and it was all blue guns and airsoft. And when one of the instructors took, you know, the training gun out of my hand and turned it on me, I was like, That is unacceptable.
Wow.
This needs to stop right now. And that was kind of my eye-opening experience, and that's kind of really what kicked it into high gear for me.
Wow. Very cool.
I was like, that's not acceptable to me. Like,
well, and I'll tell on him. I mean, your life is training, right? You're a pilot. You fly an airplane for a living, and so you got to train. But wait a minute, you're already qualified as a pilot. You don't got to train no more, right?
No, absolutely not. That's not true at all. So,
how many CEs do you have to have as a pilot to keep flying? I mean, how many hours of training do you have to do?
Thousands.
Okay.
Thousands. I mean, in the commercial line alone, you're looking at, thousands of hours before they'll even hire you.
Right.
So.
But I mean, how many continuing hours do you have to have of training? Like, so do you have a CEs load that you have to keep?
Yeah, we do. And it varies, but I mean, it's a requirement by the FAA. So it's usually several days of training, several times a year, spread out, a couple times a year. So.
And yet we don't have that in the gun world, right? Like, well, I mean, I get it. There's no constitutional right to fly an aircraft, I suppose. Though I could make the argument that it's travel.
And that's in addition to just going out and doing our skills on a daily basis when we do our job. Right?
Actually using them every day, right?
So,
So, like I say, you and your wife have been students of mine several times, and as well, you came to Gabe White's class. So what do you think the value is in a group class? Why did you come and take Gabe White with us?
I've heard great things. One, that he's a phenomenal instructor.
Which he is.
He is. There's value to both. Group classes, especially, if it's a big traveling instructor, he's not in your local area, that might be your only chance to train with that person. And there's something to be said standing on the line with other people and learning in that environment. And there's things you'll learn in a group environment and a way I don't want to say test your skills, because that sounds like it's about competition and testing, but when it's just you at a square range, you go to a square range, whether it be indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter. You do your thing, and it's just you, and you shoot.
Like, I'm good.
50, 100 rounds. You're like, oh, that's good enough. Is it? Maybe for you it is, but is it?
Straight up, I think the first time I ever took Gabe White, and I saw somebody earn a turbo pin, and you start swimming in some of the ponds with those big fish, and I was like, oh, that's how it can be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that skill looks like. And not just on the grams, but seeing it, watching somebody, talking to them, what kind of work did this take? I think that's one of the biggest values of a group class. So what do you think the value of private instruction is?
Private instruction allows you to focus on what you need to work on. On a group class, there's the group instruction, but it's also you get to learn from other people, right? And there's a huge advantage to that.
Sure.
Watching guys like you shoot, Gabe's class, watching a guy like AJ shoot, and you're just blown out of your mind. You said, guy just throws a turbo pin up like it's no big deal. And there's a huge benefit being able to watch those guys, even if they're not running the class, just sitting there and watching them and what they do and talk to them about, what do you do in practice and stuff. So that to me is the benefit of a group class. And then private instruction is, okay, that's great, I got that. but now I need to work on me.
Right.
And yeah, you can go and do it yourself at a square range, but again, you sit there like, I think that's good enough versus an instructor, who's there and he's like, no, dude, you suck. You need to fix that. And you need to
try
work
not to
on this,
say
this,
that.
and this.
Come on.
No, absolutely not. But if you don't know what you're doing wrong, how can you fix it?
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. If you're super careful, like once you get to a place you can diagnose yourself, then okay, fine. We used to say in martial arts, in the art that I studied for a long time, like once you get to like the green belt level, like you're self-correcting. You can feel and see what you're doing.
Yeah.
But at some point you're like, no, I need somebody else to watch to go, hey, what about this? And then I can feel and see and do. And I think it's the same thing with shooting. So I think there's value to both. I take both, and I just wanted you to meet my friend Greg and talk about that. Now, he's here today not to talk to you on extra, but to train. So let's get after it, man.